Sup guys, it's the Asian Power of Sun, and today I wanted to do something that I think is pretty cool. And I wanted to do all of the protagonists of Yu-Gi-Oh in my from least favorite to favorite order. And you know, basically I just wanted to do this and try it out to see how people liked it, and because excuse me, basically until I build some more decks, or until I figure out how to record Dueling Network and DevPro, I wanted something in the meantime so I could try and get noticed again. And so I thought the best way to do that was to make some top videos. So starting with the protagonists, might as well do them first. They're the main person. I should rate them first. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so number 4 would have to be Yuma. I hate this kid. Basically, if they had made Kite or Shark the protagonist, that he would have probably been one of them would have probably been higher on my list. But this kid, I hate him. He is stupid, and you know I don't want anyone to feel like I'm picking on Zexel, because I'm really not. I actually quite like Kite, and I really like Shark too, compared to some other people. But him, my problem with Yuma is he's a joke. Like, it's one thing to be a protagonist that jokes around, like Jaden. He was like the jokester hero. He kind of reminded me of Dick Grayson, the first Robin or Nightwing, if you know who that is. That's who Jaden reminded me of. Yuma reminds me of nobody. He's just like this big queer who just so happened to, I don't know, stumble upon the key of whatever it is, and I don't know, got the original number card, which I never understood why the original number was 39 and not 1. But hey, that's different time, I guess. And he's just a joke. Like, come on. What other protagonist do you know would forget their heart piece that they know is very vital to the Dual Carnival at home on the first day of the Dual Carnival, or the first day of the main part of the Dual Carnival? It's stupid. It's like they lost a lot of the hero within the kid by trying to make him too much of a jokester. It's like, even sometimes when he has to be serious, he still tries to be stupid. Like, there's a difference between having comic relief and just having an idiot. Like, he's an idiot. But enough about him, Yuma. Number 3 on my list would have to be Jaden Yugi. Jaden made it to the number 3 spot. Actually, I went back and forth with him and another person for the number 3 spot, but I decided on Yuma. Jaden. God, can I get this right? Fuck. I decided on Jaden for the simple fact, Jaden was, before Yuma came out, Jaden was the one that was missing that one thing that made him a hero, like a complete hero. Like I said, he was like that jokester hero. He was like a Nightwing. But the thing with Nightwing is he's not a main hero. He's this side hero trying to be trying to get out of the shadow of who we all loved, which was Yami and Yugi, or whether you count them separate or together, you know what I mean. But he was trying to live out of that shadow, and he had one of the coolest decks ever. Elemental Heroes, I love the motherfuckers. They remind me so much of Power Rangers, and Power Rangers was my thing when I was younger, and I love that deck. But him, he wasn't. He just never was big enough he never hit that hero mark completely to me. And so he got stopped a little short, and this is where he ended. Number two on my list, and yeah, I know I'm gonna catch a lot of shit for this, but number two on my list would actually have to be Yami slash Yugi. The reason that they're number two and not number one, um, he wasn't. Now, don't get me wrong. If I had to choose a partner to duel with on YuGiOh, it would most definitely be Yami Yugi. I know that I have no chance of losing with him as my partner, but but as a protagonist, he wasn't concrete enough. And what I mean by that is he was just too perfect. Like, I know he's the king of games, so he's not supposed to take a beating, but you have to admit there were just times where it was like, geez, can you just lose, man? Show us that you're real. Show us that you're human. I mean, yeah, he lost, but think about all his losses. Like, what? The one time Kaiba was threatened to commit suicide was a loss. That doesn't count. He had to forfeit. Kaiba was going to commit suicide. If you want to count Pegasus, he didn't even get to finish that fight, that battle. That was about the closest he came to actually genuinely losing. Even though you can even argue that, you know, Pegasus was in his hand, so it wasn't even a fair fight anyway. And then, like, other than those two times, what can you really say? And it's like, I guess you can say when he was using the Seal of Orichalcos, but you know, you can pull that one up. But I feel like that was a loss because he was blinded by the seal. You know, he should have genuinely lost at least a couple times. I mean, you can look back and you can see that Jaden genuinely lost to Zane, or how Yusei genuinely lost to what's his name? The other guy that uses Red Dragon Archfiend. And then there's Yuma, who you can say genuinely lost to a lot of people, but more so Kite than anyone, in my opinion. It's like, you know, you have all these genuine losses, and then when you look at Yugi, you're like, what genuine loss? Too unrealistic within the Yu-Gi-Oh world, if that makes sense. Like, he's just unrelatable to me in a lot of ways. So that's why Yami's number two. So by now you have guessed it, number one on my list is Yusei. I put Yusei at number one because he is the closest we get to a hero. And the reason I say this, first of all, his origin story is about as good as it gets. A guy who was about to make it out of the satellite and actually go to Domino City, duels his friend beats him and knocks him from the graces, and he must rebuild and he must come back and he must fight to get to where he was supposed to be, his rightful place. And you know, he had that hero redemption story that, I don't know, I just love. And then it's like, you know, he was just pretty much cool. He was pretty awesome. Like, his duels were different, you know. I know in the end you still had a lot of the same combos, but it wasn't like, oh, you see Avian or Prestinatrix on the field, you're getting a Flame Wingman. It wasn't one of those things. But, you know, and like, I don't know, Yusei was the closest to a hero we ever got, in my opinion. It's like, he wasn't perfect. They showed that within the first episode. They showed that he is capable of defeat, but he did not let it make him. Like, you have to admit, when Yugi loses, Yugi is beyond heartbroken, like, for the next two episodes. But Yusei took the loss in stride, and he came back, and he was going to fix his mistakes, and he was going to get where he was supposed to be, where he was rightfully belonged, and he got there back. And so that's why Yuma's number one. I don't know. Yusei's number one. I don't know. I have a lot of respect for Yusei. Yeah. So, that's my list. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave a comment. Please tell me what's your list and why. I'd love to read it. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching.